broke my heart.
Yeah.
But they had so much history to them and had gone everywhere with me. You know? What happened was my friend, Damon Johnson.
Yeah.
Damon, great guitar player.
Oh, absolutely.
And a beautiful friend of mine. He's like a little brother. And I met him way back, you know, when Brother Kane was taking off and the whole bit. He's the one that turned me on to Wizard. And he's the one that got me in touch with Rick St. Pierre. And I called up Rick and told Rick, I've lost both my Marshalls. The people at Marshall do not want to work with me now. And, you know, I mean, here's what I say to Marshall.
There we go. There it is. That counts.
Dude, listen. Dude, I had some guy at Marshall tell me, well, we're not working with too many classic artists anymore. We're kind of leaning toward new artists today. But we could sell you, we could give you an artist discount and sell you this. I went, you know, I've been playing Marshall ever since 1969, 1970. I bought tons of Marshalls and Marshall cabinets, and now I got to hear that I'm not worth, you know, my weight in gold to this company. Oh, really? Okay. I said, thanks, but no thanks. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I called up Rick St. Pierre, and Rick had worked, at the time he was working with AC/DC. And AC/DC was using Wizard, and I called him up and told him my story. He said, what do you want? What do you like in an amp? And I said, well, tell you what I like. I said, I had an old 71 and 72 Marshall Lees, and I loved them. They were 180 watts piece. He goes, what? I said, yeah. I said, 180 clean watts. You know? And in his exact words, he said, you got to be fucking kidding me. No, I'm not kidding. So he says, I build a Wizard Vintage Classic,
okay,
which is what you would be perfectly matched with from what you're telling me, because it's like the old 67, 68 Plexis, like Hendrix.
Yeah.
You know? Well, hell, I'm in, you know? He said, and I also make what is called a vintage modern classic, which has the preamp stage to it. You know, overdrive and all that stuff. So I said, no, let me try the vintage classic. Dude, do you know that guy, before he went back on the road in 3 days, he and another guy had built me 2 heads, built me 2 cabinets, and had them shipped to me right away.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Unlike the other company.
Yeah, like the other company.
That wanted to just give you an artist discount.
Yeah. So Rick St. Pierre, he sent them all to me. And I got to tell you guys, I cranked it up the first time and went, oh my God, this is a Marshall. Well, guess no 6550s in it, EL34s.
Right.
Yeah.
And those EL34s, you know what, they burn hot.
Oh, yeah.
And the hotter the tubes get, the better off the transformer sounds and the better the tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I've been all about Wizards. My much appreciation goes out to Rick St. Pierre for him helping me in a most desperate time, and I'll be indebted to him forever.
That's
wow.
Wow, that's incredible.
So the Wizards you are using right now have no master volume. They are just straight up super leads.
Straight up.
Only way to go.
Love it, man.
I love, you know.
That's how you do it.
Johnny Van Zant will tell me all that.
Yeah, well, we'll definitely give a shout out to the guy from Wizard
The
Amps.
loudest damn
Absolutely.
guitar player, I swear. You know.
Yeah.
I said,
Wow.
Johnny, you know how it was with Blackfoot. You opened for Blackfoot. I ain't nowhere near that anymore. You know?
Wow.
So, Ricky, I wanted to ask you, with now being back in Lynyrd Skynyrd, has your guitar arsenal changed? Because I noticed now you're using the Gibson Access guitars with the Floyd Roses on them.
I'll be honest with you. You know, I've been known for having a vibrato bar on my guitars, the old Gibson tailpieces, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's my thing. My Rich Fortis of Guns N' Roses. Rich is a great friend of mine.
Great guitar player.
Yeah.
Oh, I love him, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Another guy that makes me not sleep at night.
Yeah, he can take
That guy's mind blowing to me.
He's absolutely mind-blowing.
It was so cool, man. I met him in the Dead Daisies. He was playing for the Dead Daisies at the time.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Guns, let me adjust this. Guns, you know, wasn't on the road. And he was playing for the Dead Daisies, and I met Rich. And we struck up a great friendship. I love the guy. And, man, he just amazed me. And he's such an amazing guitar player. And
Yeah. I mean,
he wants my Explorer. And I told him he'd have to fight my gal and my daughter over it because they, you know.
Yeah.
But he was amazed at how I keep that Explorer and the Firebird, anything with one of those tailpieces.
in tune.
How do you keep that in tune? I goes, it's always just been a thing for me, a knack that I can keep a guitar in tune with them. And what it is, here's what I believe it is, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's a balance between where you set that tailpiece. The strings come over the tailpiece.
Right.
And here's the bridge. There's a balance right there that you got to get that set perfect. Because if it's too close or too far back, they always seem to go out of tune. So I've got the measurements of where those strings come up over that tailpiece and where they meet the saddles on the bridge. And I've always set the guitars like that.
Wow.
And they work.
Wow.
Hang
Wow.
on a minute. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Here's my 60 special.
Wow.
Oh,
Right?
okay. Thank you.
Fuck.
Had to have a tailpiece.
Yeah.
But there's the tailpiece, and there, if you look, that's the measurement that I set for all of them.
Wow.
Yeah,
So it's completely balanced.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh, she's a
Wow.
That's the key.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude. That's a beautiful guitar.
Wow.
It is
EV
beautiful.
yellow. So, you said this is 60?
and it's great.
Yeah.
Oh, those things are beautifully loud. Those,
Yeah.
those.
Woo! And they got a beautiful. They have got such a rich tone to them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
When you hit a note on it, you can feel that entire guitar vibrate. Those
Oh yeah.
those juniors. Oh,
But
God.
Ricky,
Special.
that thing at 180 watts has got to be screaming with that hum, right? You gotta go deaf almost just by that.
To a Marshall,
Yeah.
a Marshall, yeah, and through a Wizard, it sounds beautiful. You know.
Oh,
yeah.
we're selling some wizards tonight, man.
Yeah, we're gonna sell some wizards.
Yeah. We gotta get an affiliate package with that one.
Yeah, because they're tanks too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow.
Wow. Great. So let's go into we have a couple of segments and we had briefly discussed.
You've been so kind so far. So
yeah, it's been so great being on the show.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
So I know you lost a lot of stuff from the flood.
Yeah.
We have a section that we call the one that got away.
Let's
Is there
start there.
one?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have a lot, because I have a lot, and I haven't been through as many guitars as you do. Is there one that will always haunt you? Either it got lost or got stolen or
flooded.
sold, or or flooded. Right? I never even thought about that.
Well, there is one. And I wish I had it. When I came to Skynyrd, Alan played it for a while, and so did Gary. Mm-hmm. I had the very, very first reissue of the Flying V that Gibson put out that was brown. Wow. Hendrix had one. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of pictures with him.
Yeah.
And I had one. And loved it. I loved that guitar. Had a vibrato ball.
Wow.
And boy, every time I think about it, it really freaks me out, because it was such a good, great playing guitar.
Right.
The headstock got busted off of it. And then it got lost and stolen. And you know what, man? I've had a lot of, but that one got away from me. And it really, it bummed me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And back in when the Strikes record came out and we went on tour, we were on tour with REO Speedwagon, and we played Long Beach, California, and I was up at Atlantic Records doing an interview, and all of a sudden, the next thing I know, I'm doing this interview, and the journalist left, and in walks both Al and my manager and the co-manager, Jay, and Jack. And they did not look happy, and I went, oh God, something's happened to my family. You know, first thing I thought of.
Yeah, yeah.
They come in and told me that the whole Ryder truck had been stolen out of the parking lot at the Holiday Inn in Long Beach. Dudes.
Yeah.
I lost it. I mean, and the first thing out of my mouth, I went, oh my God, my Firebird.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so I lost my Firebird, gold top Les Paul, that you see right there,
mm-hmm.
and a 62 white strap with a tortoise pick guard.
Mm.
Well, we went around borrowing equipment so we could stay on the road, and borrowing guitars, man, it was crazy. Borrowing equipment. Well, we played Long Beach, the next night on borrowed gear and rented gear. And we had 3 days off, and then we were going to be in Lubbock, Texas. And I wish I'd have dug it out of the room in here. But we went to Lubbock, Texas, man, and we didn't have our managers, Jay and Al and Jay, had went back to Ann Arbor because his family owned Al and Alley Music Annex, big music store. Went back to get us Marshalls, SVT, drums. Tama had to send Jack brand new drums in. I mean, it was terrible. It was crazy.
All gone. It was all gone.
All gone, dude.
Wow.
Every bit. They found the Ryder truck in a neighborhood still running.
Wow.
Just didn't care. They just cleaned the thing out. Holy shit.
Cleaned it out. The only thing they left was one tom-tom and something else. But they left the road cases. They pulled everything out of the road cases, and the detectives told us that it was probably already across the border.
Wow.
So I'm in Lubbock, Texas, and we're with REO. And I go on the radio that day and tell everybody, I did an interview. Atlantic took me over there, and I always did the interviews. So I'm on the radio talking about how we'd had our equipment stolen and how we were looking for equipment. Well, the phone rang in the studio, and one of the guys picked it up out of the studio, and he comes in the control room there on a commercial break with the radio. And he says, Rickey, I have a gentleman on the phone that claims he's married to Buddy Holly's sister. And he claims that he has an old Les Paul that he would sell you. And I said, does he know what year it is? No. I said, well, just tell him to bring it over to the building. Let me take a look at it, play it or whatever. He brought it over. It was a 1957 Les Paul Special. Single cutaway.
Wow.
2 soap bar pickups on it, the whole bit. But it was the most god-awful looking color you'd ever seen in your life. I looked at it and I went, my God, who tried to paint this one? He claimed, that it was Buddy's at one time.
Right.
And he was married to Buddy's sister, So I thought to myself, my God, this guy's going to want my firstborn for this. And I played it, and it played with the rusty strings on it and stuff. You could tell that this was cleaned up and set up right. Man, this is going to be a good guitar.
Right.
I said, how much you want for it? He said, I don't know. Could I get about $350 for it? Really? Come again? Dude, I peeled off $350 so quick.
Wow.
And I still got it. It's right there in the room. And
that is great.
I'll tell you another good guitar story.
Sure.
I was in Jacksonville on a break, and I was seeing my mom and dad, staying with them, and off the road, and I went over to a little store called American Music. And a kid comes in there with a case. I took one look at the case. I went, oh, my God. It was a brown case. And he said, I got this old guitar here that I'd like to see if I could sell. And the guy goes, well, I got to go get the owner of the store and see if it's something he's interested in. Well, I looked at the case, and I knew the case had to be there was a 1950s Les Paul in there of some sort.
Right.
And the case was kind of, a little bit beat up, but not really bad. And I looked at the kid, and I said, and he opened up the case. When he opened it up, my eyes, I almost fell out of my feet, fell out of my shoes. It was a Les Paul, Sunburst Les Paul, pink insides of the case, a whole bit, just about like one over my shoulder, And I said, you want to sell the guitar, huh? Yeah. I said, come on out here to my truck. I had a 48 Ford pickup truck out in the parking lot,
Nice.
Come on out here, man. So we walk out there, and I said, we throwed it up on the back of the truck. I said, how much you want for it? Well, I don't know, man. I don't know nothing about it. And it was my older brother, and he gave it to me. And, I thought I'd just sell it. I want the money. Really? Take $500 for it? He goes, $500? I said, yeah. Guys, I turned it over and looked at the back of the headstock. 0 space 4 numbers.
1960, baby.
Wow.
Made probably from all the 59 bodies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
$500. Yeah, $500. Yeah, oh yeah, man. I gave him $500, dude. Let me tell you what. I slammed the case down on that, packed it up, threw it in my truck, and hauled ass.
Oh,
Yeah, absolutely.
Took it out of that town.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
And the
wow.
owner, Steve Malinky from American Music, he called me. He goes, "Man, what guitar was that?" I went, "Oh, it was just scrap. Don't worry about it, man."
Wow. Wow.
It's some crappy SG.
Wow. So we're going to ask you. We're going to do maybe we'll do 2 more of our segments. We had mentioned earlier. Do you have one of those Spinal Tap moments where shit went sideways?
Yeah, completely side.
Yeah. Now I know you probably have a million of them, but
Dude, I got a million of them. I mean,
like locked in a
Right.
bathroom trying to get on stage and you couldn't get out. I don't know. What do you got?
I will tell you really. I don't know if you could consider this a Spinal Tap moment. I believe it was for the opening band.
Fair enough.
Yeah, anything
that-
good
yeah.
is yeah.
And I'm not gonna tell you who the opening band was. Okay, I can't do that.
Okay. Yeah,
But
yeah.
I will tell you-
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. We're out on the road and we got this opening band out with us, man, and they are giving us. We're the headlining act, and they are giving us a load of crap every night.
Mhm.
They didn't have enough room. They didn't have enough time. We were this, we were that. And the lead singer, man, I was getting sick of this dude. And us Southern boys were ready to punch somebody out. You know, put enough tequila in me, and I guarantee you, it'd be on like Donkey Kong. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we'd had, all of us guys in the band. We had been over backwards for these guys, and their management was on our management to do this and do that. I don't know what it was that night, but we come walking in and they're on stage, and this guy is out there twitting around and he's doing his thing. He's this and that and the other, man, and I'm looking at this guy, going, "Is this really a front man? Or is this a clown?"
Right.
Well, the place where we were playing would put on stage shows, Broadway shows, and plays.
Yeah.
Well, I look over, and there's a shepherd's staff with a big hook on it.
I think I know what's coming.
And I pick it up. Jack looks at me and he goes, "Man, get him. Just go ahead and do it, Ricky." Dude, he's right like this here. And all of a sudden people said, "You seen this hook come out from the side of the stage?" And I grabbed him by his neck and yanked him off.
Oh,
Oh man.
yes.
Boy,
That's
my
fantastic.
manager chewed me up and down.
I bet.
I mean, their manager called management. "We're going to sue you. We're going to sue him," and everything. And, we were like, "You know what, man, go do whatever, whatever." But that's kind of,
That's definitely a good one. That's a good
I
one.
mean, there have been some serious Spinal Tap moments that
I bet.
I really can't tell on screen. So,
Yeah.
All
but
right.
it's been fun.
Great. We'll wrap you up with we do a section. We're gonna call it the thank you section tonight. Yeah. If you've previously watched the show, we're altering a little bit for younger ears, and that's fine. And normally we go around and we talk about from each one of the guys in the panel. But
Yeah.
everybody, if you've watched this before, you don't need to hear our opinions. I think we can all agree we would give a monstrous thank you to you, Rickey.
Yeah.
Man, you're drummer, guitar player. The family is rich. I mean, you didn't have it easy as a Native American either, and but just like an amazing front man. And my second gig is I'll play with Lynyrd Skynyrd for 25 years.
Yes.
I mean, my daughter's like. My daughter's 17, and she's like, "You got the guy that's doing Sweet Home Alabama." So,
every night.
So we got to say a huge thank you for you, just being you for so long. So, who was like your greatest influence, either as an artist or somebody you really look up to and say, "Wow, they really did it well," or
Well, I think I'd have to go and really seriously say my granddaddy was my biggest influence.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I have loved a lot of guitar players in my life, and have been influenced, of course. I loved Jimi Hendrix. Got to see Hendrix several times in my life.
Wow.
I loved Eric Clapton. Got to see Cream in my life. Jeff Beck, another one that I just absolutely love, But out of all the singers and guitar players and stuff that influenced me in a music way, my granddaddy, he taught me, whether he knew it or not, he taught me what goes from your heart down your hands into your mouth. He taught me the feel of it and the appreciation for the talent, the God-given talent that I was born with.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't had him and my grandma, like I said before. And he was my major inspiration, influence, still is. I've got all his old instruments, his old banjo, his old mandolins, the Gibson, his old National Steels, his fiddle that he used to play all the time. And the thing about my granddaddy was I wanted to emulate him in my life. I wanted to play everything because he could, anything that he picked up, it just amazed me. Anything that he picked up, he played it incredibly well. And that just used to be mind-blowing to me. And I wanted to emulate him. And he told me one day, don't try to do what I do. Don't try to be like me and play everything, because you're in a business, in a type of music where you don't need to do that. So I stuck with the love of guitar and love singing, and I would say that out of everybody and everything, he's been my biggest and most major influence in my life.
Wow, very cool.
Wow.
Very cool. Wow. Well, thank you so much for giving us
Hey.
your time.
Rickey.
One more shout out. There was a guy, Mike Brewer. He was watching on Facebook. He wanted to say hello. I think I've caught up with everybody. I don't know if you caught that Donna had checked in a few times. That's the one who got us in touch with you.
Cool.
She was also, when your battery died, she was messaging us too to let us know that there was the issue when we had just put on.
Well,
video.
she's great at doing what she's doing. Hello, Donna, and hello, Mike, and hello to everybody that's watching. Heartfelt wishes go out to everybody at this time. And if you're a big Skynyrd fan and wondering what we're going to do, we will be back. I'm telling you, we will be back. And once
We will be there.
Yeah, we're going to definitely be there,
We'll be there.
without a doubt.
And guys, listen, my thanks and appreciation to you guys. Thank you for a great time.
No, thank you.
I enjoyed.
Thank you. And
I
I would like to thank Donna for actually getting this whole thing started, which I
Yeah.
still find unbelievable. She's a sweetheart, and
Really?
you're blessed to have somebody like that working for
Thank you, Donna.
So Donna,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Take
All right,
care, guys.
So I'm gonna
And,
we'll sign out the streaming.
Ricky,
Ricky,
thank
hang
you.
on 1 minute, and we'll just we'll say goodbye.